Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever and wherever you happen to be watching this. This is Lesson 25, Nazi Germany Part 2. And wow, hard to believe we're getting this close to the end of the semester. I'm not sure if things seem to be moving faster with everything that's been going on or slower, but well, it's definitely different. And if you're in Pueblo, you noticed we had snow this morning, which is fairly remarkable. But it gives me a chance to wear one of my favorite long sleeve t shirts once more before putting it away for the season. But let's get to it. If you're following along with the slides, which are posted to Blackboard, I'll let you know what I'm changing. Uh, Moving on to course administration. Just wanted to let you know the course feedback is now open for this and for, well, every other course you're taking. And I just wanted to take a moment and let you know how important that is. Those of you who have been my students before know that I do take it very seriously, but let me emphasize or re-emphasize just how important this is. I read all of my feedback. Um, and I change the courses as I repeat them in my general teaching style, for that matter, in response to that feedback. Um, if you'd taken this course 2 years ago, you would have had different topics, different books, different ways of organizing things, and I changed it and hopefully improved it based on what the History 352 veterans from spring of 2018 told me. Um, Now, obviously, the feedback you fill out now is not going to help you a whole lot unless you happen to be taking one of my courses next fall, but it will help future generations of CSU Pueblo students. And in a sense, you kind of owe it to them, because if you've had any sort of positive experience with this course, if you have gained anything at all from it, you owe a debt of gratitude to my previous students, both here and at the Air Force Academy, who gave me the feedback that let me improve as an instructor, as a teacher. So if you got anything at all out of it, fill out the feedback so it can get better. If you didn't get anything at all, you need to definitely fill out the feedback so I know that I have failed miserably and have a lot of work to do over the summer. Um, I've decided that even though this is an asynchronous class, I'm going to host an entirely optional Zoom session during our scheduled final exam period, which will be from 10:30 to 12:50 Mountain Daylight Time on Tuesday, 28 April. I'll be sending out a Zoom invitation sometime this week to let everybody log in if you want to. I'm not going to be taking attendance. This is not a matter of concern or anything. Just one last chance for us to kind of get together. This semester obviously has not been the experience any of us signed up for, but I have hopes that maybe we can mostly get together one last time, and I'll run through the posters that have been submitted at that point, which is why I want them early that morning so I have a chance to put things together, and we'll just talk about things and wrap things up. Again, entirely optional. Uh, Attend if you can, and if you want to, it'd be nice to see everybody again. Other than that, no changes, but as always, please, 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 if you have questions, ask. I can't answer them unless I know that they're out there. Okay, the summer and fall courses update slide doesn't have any changes. I just wanted to emphasize how important it is to get registered. I know some of you feel like your academic futures are kind of in flux right now. You don't know what's happening with your jobs. You don't know what's happening with your families. You don't know what's happening with your educational plans. And I understand that's very disruptive, probably pretty dang scary. Um, but number one, I and my fellow faculty members are on hand to advise you, not just about what classes you should take, but how you can proceed. And if you are, even in the realm of possibility of taking classes this summer or fall, it's very important that you go ahead and get registered if you possibly can. So we in the administration, lucky me, know what people want. We are going to reach a point fairly early, especially in this disrupted atmosphere, where we may have to cancel classes that are under enrolled, and that means that class you said, oh, maybe I'll take that, or I'll probably take that, I just don't want to be bothered to register right now. That means that class could disappear. So please, 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 if you possibly can, go ahead and get registered for summer or fall. If you're having any problems doing that, let me know. I will do my best to help you out, and we'll get you up there. All right. Moving on, jobs for history graduates, I don't usually post teaching jobs, and actually isn't one. I don't usually post jobs from universities or colleges or for high schools, just because everybody knows that's one of the things you can do with a history degree. And I do want to emphasize that I'm not in any way slamming those of you who want to pursue careers in education. After all, I am, so it would be a little odd if I was. I'm trying to expose you to the sheer diversity of things that you can do with your history degree beyond teaching. And this is one of those things that is not a teaching position, but it is at a university, in this case at Pitt, which I'm kind of conflicted on because, of course, Pittsburgh is my hometown, a beautiful city, wonderful place to live, but it's Pitt, and being a Penn State graduate, there are arch rivals. That said, I also have some credits from Pitt on my transcript, so it's just a very conflicted moment for me. At any rate, this looks like a really awesome job as a research associate, essentially doing a lot of organizational and research work for the Pitt World History Center. It just goes to show that everybody who works at a university isn't a teacher. In fact, if you look around CSU Pueblo's campus, when you're allowed to look around CSU Pueblo's campus again, you will find lots of grads, even grads from our department, at various places in the university, doing wonderful work serving you, the current students. So that's pretty cool, pay it forward sort of thing. Anyway, awesome jobs are out there for people in our discipline. Moving on to the writing tip of the day. Last time I talked about documenting web pages. This is about documenting sources that you have accessed over the web but are not original to the web. Specifically, in this case, a couple examples out of journals and out of a newspaper. But also consider this for ebooks and that sort of thing, or Google Books, Google Scholar, things like that. Remember, what's important is conveying the information so that somebody can find the source you used and reproduce your research. This is what's behind our pretensions in history to be a science, a social science, is that you can reproduce our research by going to our sources. So take a look and at these on the slide, and let me know if you have any questions. But remember, you need to differentiate between a web source and a source you find on the web. All right. I look forward to seeing any questions. And by the way, I do continue to monitor the discussion boards even after the lesson has passed. I look at them frequently. If you're catching up, if you missed some lessons, I understand life is continuing in some very weird ways right now. Please feel free to go ahead and post a question to any of our past discussion boards ever since this whole thing started. If you want to go back to the Industrial Revolution, well, we didn't do the Industrial Revolution. I can't remember what we did first at this point. You want to go all the way back and post questions, that's fine. Don't in any way feel embarrassed that you're behind everybody else. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and post that question and I'll answer it. I'm looking forward to it. Same thing regarding what we've been doing on Tuesday with the group discussions. Go ahead and post. Go ahead and join in. Don't feel like you've been left out or you've missed out. That's one of the wonderful things about the net is it's asynchronous, so we can keep things going. And those of you who have been active, I encourage you to stay active. Look back and see what questions are being posted and what answers are being posted. That's really the best way for us to gain the most out of this class, since we've been deprived of that face-to-face communication that was such a big part of it. So yeah, keep up with the discussion boards. Just because you've posted your bit or that lesson is passed, just keep an eye out. And, Blackboard will let you know if there's new information that you haven't responded to or you haven't seen yet. That said, I look forward to your questions. Go either about today's documents that you're going to be looking at or going backwards. Maybe I'm starting to sound like a broken record on this one, and I guess maybe many of you don't know what a broken record sounds like. It just repeats itself over and over again. I guess even a CD with a skip may be too technologically primitive for today's youth, but what the heck. Historians are allowed to use dated metaphors. But my point here is that dive in. You're a part of this class, and if you're just catching up, that's okay. That is okay. We will get through this. You will get the education you need. You will build the skills that you signed up for to get this class. Signed up for this class to get. Um, I'm here. Okay, maybe not actually here in my office when you're watching it, but I'm here on the web, and we'll get through. We can do this. All right. Because you guys haven't been quite as active on this board as I'd hoped, and I understand, that's not blame, that's just adaptation. I've reduced us to 3 topics today. Now, there's a fair amount of overlap between them, but they're all worth looking at, and I'd like each group to, again, just put together a Blackboard slide kind of summarizing the most important points you take away from your topic. And do that through discussion on the board, and I'm watching, and I'll help out if I can. The first group, Curtis, Alexa, Derek, Gabby, Natasha, Tristan, and Marissa, have The Rise of the Nazis and Opposition. The second group, Kayla, Aiden, Nate, Jackson, Justine, Rose, and Alex, have Hitler's War. Okay. Lucas, Ryan, sorry, I always want to say Ryan when I look that, but I know it's Ryan. Conrad, Caleb, Joshua, Adrian, and I realize I typoed your name, sorry about that, and Maya have the Holocaust. And note that in this bit on the Holocaust, there's actually not a lot about Nazi anti-Semitism because that got wrapped up in The Rise of the Nazis and Opposition. These are somewhat artificial divisions, but they're just for the purpose of discussion. So, take a look at the documents. Go through them, share your thoughts, put together just sort of a group summary in a slide, which I will then insert. And I realize I'm kind of behind on that, but I haven't received a lot of slides either. Hint, hint, hint. So go ahead and do that, and we'll get it all posted up. And so the conclusion is kind of in your hands. Moving on to our final slide. To learn more, there's Hitler, the Nazis, fascism have been the subject of many, many, many very worthwhile books, even though it is a very hard topic. I would specifically today recommend Ian Kershaw's Hitler, the Germans, and the Final Solution. This is a collection of essays that Kershaw has published in various venues over the year relating to the topic of how the Holocaust came about and the roles played by Hitler, the German people, the Nazi Party, etc. Very, very worthwhile read. Alexander Rossino's Hitler Strikes Poland, Blitzkrieg, Ideology, and Atrocity is about the German invasion of Poland in 1939 and really addressing the fact that atrocity and genocide were part of the Nazi war project from the beginning, that this isn't something that came about as a result of the German invasion of the Soviet Union, that's implicit in the Nazi program from the very beginning. Very worthwhile read there, very good study. And finally, Inga Scholl's The White Rose is about a group of university students who led a nonviolent resistance to the Nazis. As you may guess, knowing something about the Nazis, it was a very short-lived resistance, but nevertheless a very inspiring story for people who are looking for something bright in a very dark time in European history. All right, I'm just going to wrap up with whatever encouragement I can offer. Things are tough, no doubt, but the university is still here for you, and I'm still here for you. If you have questions, email me. I am happy to set up phone calls or set up Zoom and talk to you in person. We can talk through your schedule. We can talk through advising. We can talk through the class. We can talk through your poster. Whatever support you need to make it through this semester and keep your life on track. All right. Well, wherever you are, I hope you and yours are safe and healthy, and let me know if I can help. Have a great day.